Hello and welcome to Behind the Front. This podcast series examines a dimension of World War II that is rarely covered adequately in history books. Logistics, ammunition, fuel, food, railways, ships, factories. The invisible force that wins or loses wars. In our first episode today, we question what lay beneath the gleaming surface of German Blitzkrieg or Lightning War, and look at the logistical reality. When German tanks poured through the Ardennes forest into France in May 1940, the world was shocked. France had collapsed in 6 weeks, but was this truly the perfect triumph of military genius, or the lucky success of a system doomed to break, brilliant on paper? When the German army attacked Western Europe in 1940, it had mobilized a force of approximately 2,500 tanks and 750,000 motorized vehicles. The figures were impressive, but behind these figures lie a startling reality. More than 60% of the supply convoys transporting fuel for these vehicles were still moving by horse-drawn carts. Yes, you heard that right. During the 1940 France campaign, the bulk of the German army's logistical infrastructure was horse-drawn. Behind the modern image was a supply system that had not advanced beyond World War I. Martin van Creveld summarizes this in his work Supplying War. The success of the German attack was partly due to logistics calculations being set aside. Commanders said advance supply will follow. In the short term this worked, but every system has its limits. German armored divisions in 1940 could advance an average of 300–400 kilometers per day. But supply lorries could not keep pace. Some divisions ran out of fuel and were forced to wait a few hours. In France, this problem was not decisive, because the enemy collapsed first. But in the years ahead, across larger geographies, this weakness would prove fatal. Dunkirk, the miraculous evacuation of 340,000 British and French soldiers. Why did Hitler halt the tanks? Historians have debated this question for decades. Political calculations? Giving Göring's Air Force a chance? Perhaps. But looking at the logistical reality, a different picture also emerges. At that point, the German armored divisions had reached a critical limit. Approximately 40% of tanks were out of action due to breakdown or maintenance. Fuel had fallen to dangerously low levels. Supply lines had stretched beyond 600 kilometers. The halt order was also a mechanical necessity, a moment to breathe. Dunkirk actually teaches us an important lesson. An army that has reached the limits of its logistics may be forced to stop even on the threshold of victory. The Germans learned this lesson in France, but did not internalize it sufficiently. France's extraordinarily rapid collapse created a dangerous overconfidence in the German command structure. The perception that Blitzkrieg works, logistics can take second place, deepened. Yet this success derived largely from the fact that French and British defenses were much weaker than expected. Adam Tooze sets this out in his work The Rages of Destruction. Germany had genuinely deserved its victory in 1940, but that victory reflected the enemy's weakness, not the robustness of the system. The leadership could not see the difference. This wrong lesson would lead to catastrophe in the Soviet Union in the years ahead. But that story is for later episode in our series. From the British side, the picture is entirely different. British forces returning from Dunkirk had left the bulk of their heavy equipment behind in France. 64,000 vehicles, 2,500 guns, 400,000 tons of supply material remains behind. But this disaster also opened a door of opportunity to rebuild everything from scratch more rationally. The Churchill government established the Ministry of Aircraft Production under Lord Beaverbrook to coordinate war production. Similar centralization was applied to army supply. In short order, the British built a logistical structure far more rational than the German system. We would see the fruits of this system at El Alamein in 1942. A well-supplied army can fight even in difficult conditions. A poorly supplied army, however talented, will eventually collapse. Why was the German army so logistically fragile? The answer is partly cultural, partly institutional. In German military tradition, Auftragstaktik, mission tactics, was paramount. This was superb for offensive capability. But logistics requires centralization and coordination. The two were in conflict. Moreover, Germany had a short war plan of 4 years. Raw material stocks, fuel reserves, production capacity all were designed for a rapid victory, not a long war. When the Soviets failed to be defeated in 1941, this system began to crack. Today, on Behind the Front's first episode, we looked behind the gleaming surface of Blitzkrieg. While German armored forces rolled across Europe, supply wagons were still pulled by horses. The victory in France temporarily concealed this contradiction but did not eliminate it. In the next episode, we move to North Africa. How did Rommel's magnificent tactical genius come into conflict with fragile supply lines? Why did the Desert Fox lose? Thank you for listening to Behind the Front. See you in the next episode.